What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
It's another day at the office, I get to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones. Orlando, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, sir. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
And all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support.
Get ready, get set for the best movie and pop culture talk in the universe. It's The Good Brothers on Mercado Airwaves with your hosts, Alex Mercado and Mike Mercado.
Welcome back to another episode of The Good Brothers. I'm Alex, that's Mike, and we are The Good Brothers. Mike, everything the light touches is your kingdom. Luckily, we're in a poorly lit room. How are you today?
I'm a little upset that my kingdom is so shitty. That sucks.
Right? That was a good one, right?
Yeah.
That was good.
What's up, good brother? How you been?
It's good. Emmys nominations, I'm very excited about that. I'm a big TV buff. So I'm pretty happy to see all the nominations, and we'll talk about that in the Lion King coming up tomorrow. So, fun little week. Nothing too crazy. I think kind of is the trend of summer at this point is after Infinity or Endgame, nothing too crazy.
So I guess we could start off with, why don't we go into the box office?
Let's get some numbers.
So in the box office, it was another successful weekend for Marvel and Sony, as Spider-Man Far From Home is the number one movie in America, and Toy Story 2, and Toy Story as well, falling at number 2, keeping its spot
you said
for
Toy Story 2,
4.
but you meant Toy Story is number 2. Also, yeah.
So Crawl opens up at number 3, actually pretty good on a budget of $13 million, makes $12 million.
On Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna check that out. Actually, I might check that out tomorrow morning.
Sleeper. It seems like the, what am I thinking of? Like the
Don't Breathe of this year.
Yeah, definitely of
Yeah.
Who would have thought that would have been good?
At fourth place is Stupor, opening up this weekend at $8 million. Not the big hit that I was hoping it was going to be.
Not great,
but
not bad. Very average.
And yesterday rounds up the top 5 with $6 million in its third week. But want to give it a shout out to another $6 million to Aladdin, who finally, after 8 weeks, finally drops out of the top 5.
It feels like Aladdin was so long ago, and they're already getting prepared for their next release. And Will Smith's highest grossing film, and these two young actors and these leads that, besides, Naomi Scott's pretty much the biggest name out of the two, but it's kind of crazy how much money that made so quietly.
And just to kind of talk about the rest of the big names that you might have seen while you were at the theaters, Annabelle Comes Home is at number 7 with another Midsummer at $3 million. At number 9, The Secret Life of Pets 2, which I actually saw with my godson, at number 9 with $3 million. No. And at 10 is Men in Black International with $2 million. And if you're wondering, Avengers Endgame makes another $2 million, making its total up to $850.
I believe it needs another $7 million this week. $7 million total to beat the record.
So
it's pretty much going to limp its way to the front.
Yeah. So all right, good brother. But that was what was going on in the box office. But we talk about what is coming out this week, and that is The Lion King. So I guess the big thing about The Lion King will end up being is what the initial reaction was as we got out of it. And if you look up Rotten Tomatoes right now, for a lot of people, the score kind of, I think the biggest problem people have is they had this expectations that it was going to be redefining a just this redefinition of this IP, and I don't think that's fair to put on this film.
It's
right now
not.
at 58% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I mean, it's not, and it's one of their lower rated films. Like Aladdin's a higher rated one. Like there's a lot of movies that we sat there and were like, oh, they weren't that good, that are higher rated. In my opinion, it comes down to this, is that it is what it is. It's a shot-for-shot remake, live action. And I'll call it live action because we're not getting the conversation of CGI,
right.
whatever. And people's people loved it for the reason it's a shot-for-shot remake. And I think that's also why some people hated it.
Sure.
So I think no matter what, the movie was going to kind of hit where it did. I think we're going to fall in the category of loving it.
That's what
we wanted.
What do you think
I wanted to see the exact same movie, but just live action.
What about audience-wise? What do you think the audience score is going to be?
I think the audience is going to love it. And just for the pure purpose, the audience loves to shit on critics and be like, ha, see, you're terrible at your job.
Right.
No, that's just their job. Their job is an opinion, and your job is to either listen to their opinion or not listen to their opinion. So...
Well, good brother, that is what's heading into the box office. And before we get into anything that has to do with big news that came into the pop culture world today, we do have some Elvis casting that we have to get into. And it has finally been announced. So a few weeks ago, we had heard about this little list of people that were going to be perhaps the new Elvis Presley. Some people like Miles Teller,
very pretty, like
Harry Styles,
pretty odd. I'm gonna say odd looking.
Aaron Taylor Johnson,
very like they had a look to them.
Well,
and basically they announced we give you Tom Hanks, and I don't know if he's gonna be a manager or the father or whatever. I know, so they're like, we're gonna have starring Tom Hanks to be a big part of this movie, and this is the list of 5 actors that have the look and just, we think, it's coming with Han Solo is coming out. And they're like, these 5 are going to be someone big. And these 5 are already kind of proving themselves. Let's see who we get. And they ended up going with the smallest name of them all, honestly.
And I am actually right now looking at a text message that I got from our mother when I met her.
Yeah.
And Tom Hanks is playing Colonel Parker, who, I guess is his agent and manager at
the
time.
Yeah. So it is. So a big part of the movie,
Yeah.
and I love when they do this part with movies where they're like, let's find the best man for the job and then stack around them.
Now, that man for the job is Austin Butler, who was in a Broadway play with Denzel Washington. And I'll be honest with you, he is as close as an actor can look like of Elvis Presley without being like a parody Elvis Presley.
I mean, Baby Driver would have been my next pick just because I feel
Which
like
is funny. Your mom said the same exact thing, that she wanted him to be Elvis Presley.
That's the name. Like, if you're going to pick those names, I think he looks the most like it, and he has that sort of baby lip innocence, but like charm to him that Elvis does. Because, we're huge Elvis fanatics, like, because of our mother, and it's, I can't wait for this because, I love Walk the Line with Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon. So I like this casting. I like Tom Hanks. I like the director. I can't wait. Elvis, I feel like when it comes to legends, is so underrated as to how big of a legend he truly is. And maybe it's because we don't have as many, biopics of Elvis as we do of like the Beatles, and Johnny Cash had his big one. And like everyone's kind of had theirs. And now we're finally getting ours of like, no, we haven't had an Elvis biopic, and Elvis is a fascinating man.
And I wonder how much you're going to hit on, what people say is stealing songs, or what they're talking about the drug abuse, and the being with the being
underage,
right, and the womanizing that he did. So it's going to be a fascinating case. Like, I love his music, but there's also a fascinating, sometimes infamous, and obviously a famous man behind it. So I'm fascinated.
Are we getting a Bohemian Rhapsody style where we're going to kind of ignore maybe the harsher things, but be hardcore, or are we going to go
walk the line?
Walk the line where it's like, nah, we're kind of going to show what a scumbag he is.
Yeah.
But there's a charm to him that made him famous.
And speaking of charm, good brother, some other of the news that happened in the movie world.
Reboot.
Yeah. Thor is coming back with the one and only Taika Waititi. Alex, everybody kind of assumed that there was going to be another Thor movie. I just don't think people realized whether it was going to be in the Guardians 3 or if it was going to be Guardians 4. So I'm interested to kind of hear your thoughts that we do know this. We do know that Akira is now on full delay because he was supposed to direct
I'm upset about that because
Yeah.
I did really want to see an Akira movie. Taika's the right man for the job. But I think I'm more disappointed that now we don't get Akira right away. And it's been something passed around because before him it was Jordan Peele, and before that it was Leo starring, and it's had so many. It's almost becoming a modern Crow where we're probably never gonna get it. And I think it's one of those things where maybe this it's such a beautiful animated movie that it might not be ready for it. We're not ready for it, possibly. Like, maybe we're just not ready for that style of movies yet. Because I just finished season 3 of Attack on Titan. It's some of the best television I've ever seen in my life.
I have to watch it.
And it's fantastic. And the story is just getting better, and the visuals. And you're like, wow, like it's a big swerve. Like I'll talk to you off air about it, but I just don't see us being close yet because I think that even past here's where superhero movies were. I think we're still a couple years away from where we want to be to make great manga anime movies.
Sure, and then it'd be interesting maybe with Dune being a big hit, then maybe that might be the first realm into like a big budget sci-fi movie that we do know Akira would have to be if you read the manga itself. But good brother, there's speaking of manga and this Akira stuff and what's going to happen with Thor, the nerds and pop culture universe have all gone down to one of my favorite cities, and that is San Diego for San Diego Comic-Con.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
How the whale's vagina city is now the mecca right now for this world. Let me ask you this: we do know that now it's been breaking news that the Game of Thrones showrunners will not be on their panel.
Russo brothers have also announced something big that we
that is the good news of it.
They teased Community and now Marvel and Arrested Development. Like they're basically just fucking with everyone now. Yeah. We're getting a lot of TV. We're not getting any DC Universe.
No, it doesn't look like that.
We're getting Marvel, which you know,
Marvel. Yeah.
And because remember, the Taika was a leak.
Yeah,
it was an official announcement. It leaked.
Sure.
So I think they were saving that.
Sure.
So I think we've been kind of guessing for weeks that we're going to get a lineup finally. That we're going to get like, here's what's coming out in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Like, here's Phase 4 for you.
Phase 5.
Phase 4.
Yeah, Phase 4. Yeah.
Phase 4. Oh. And I think it's interesting because I like when they look back. They're like, on this day last month, Inhumans, the movie was supposed to be in.
That was such a crazy
fact.
Yeah.
Like 2019. June, it was supposed to be Inhumans, and this was supposed to be called Sorcerer Society or something
so
crazy.
Weird, yeah. And then the Serpent Society. And
that's what Serpent Society.
But I'm interested. So tell me this: what would be the biggest thing for you to come out of San Diego Comic-Con? Would it be knowing when the new Avengers movie is going to be coming down the pipe?
I want the lineup. I want the phase. Give me the phase. That's always been the most exciting part is when they lay those movies out. And that's what like everyone started doing. We're like, oh, DC's going to do it. Harry Potter's going to do it. The monsters are going to do it. Like, we're going to show you all of it.
I wish we had Godzilla versus King Kong footage. That's the one thing I wish. Yeah, they pushed it. Yeah, that's what I would wish.
And what's funny is I just rewatched Godzilla and King Kong. 75% Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah. I really enjoy King Kong and Godzilla. Yeah. I loved King of Monsters. I think what you called kind of ruined it.
Yeah.
Like your call ended up being devastating. It was so devastating. You're like, it's kind of hard for us to want to see him fight King Kong now when half the world got destroyed.
Yeah.
So Mike, you basically ruined Godzilla.
But I called it, so that's what's most important.
You basically ruined the movie. What's your call?
So, do you think we get any Batman news out of San Diego Comic-Con?
Who's playing Batman? It's Robert Pattinson, right?
I thought that's official.
Did he drop out?
No, Robert Pattinson.
That was a rumor.
That was a bad leak. Yeah. It was a rumor saying somebody. So what ended up happening is they put the picture of Rob Pattinson up, and they said somebody in this new Batman film has dropped out, and they insinuated that it was Pattinson, but it actually was not. It was another co-star. So do you think you don't think we get anything Joker related? Anything?
No, because Jokers are in the film festivals.
Yes.
And they already kind of dropped that bomb that, like, this isn't going to be like the comics, which I'm going to hold judgment.
But I assumed it wasn't going to be a heavy
I know, but I'm going to hold judgment and be like, that can either be great, bad, or indifferent.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, no, not my Joker.
You know? I agree. And I'm willing, I'm so open. I'm just so ready for that movie. I'm telling you, between the Joker and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
that was
I'm
mine.
super excited.
That for me, because Lion King is kind of, for me, the last of the blockbusters.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a big Aftershock. I kind of want to see Aftershock because it looks so ridiculous and I have to.
Right.
Like The Rock just going full rocking everyone and I love it. And Jason Statham. But like as a film, like coming to Oscar seasons now, I'm like, God, I can't wait for Once Upon a Time.
So before we move on to kind of the meat and potatoes of this episode, good brother, there is something I want to mention. So everybody's talking about all these new streaming services that are coming out, and we obviously heard about the HBO Max, which is going to be Warner Brothers.
They got Friends. They got a lot of randoms in there.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Friends, and then we do know what NBC Universal is going to do with their stuff.
Office.
I highly suggest following, or at the very least, looking up this thread from on Twitter at Ball Matthew. This is Matthew Ball, and he tweets out Netflix's Q2 results. And I'm not going to read all of it, but just so you all know, this is the number one. The biggest show is Stranger Things, launched to the biggest ever viewership, 40 of 155 million accounts watched Stranger Things 4 days after Q2 ended. So you got to keep it in mind that Stranger Things will not be part of the quarter 2. But even with that, he mentions that it would still be a flat. Even with all that, it's considered a flat season for Netflix. So I think it's important for all our listeners, good brother, that Netflix is in trouble. Legitimate trouble. I think they're going to have a problem keeping subscriptions.
Well, I mean, it's just fascinating because obviously when they see us, like Ava DuVernay just came out because they led, I believe, Emmys with about 16 noms. And they had said that, because Netflix is very confusing with their data and they don't like to release a lot of it. So here's her quote. There was a meeting. They pulled back the curtain on key viewing data. And all she can say is, wow, emotional. It keeps growing. Truly incredible. And what she's basically teasing is that show did some numbers that I think no one would believe it did at so quickly, and for a miniseries and for what its message was. It's not a member berries fun show. And by the way, I did start Stranger Things. That's all right. I like it. Episode 1 so far made me laugh.
Yeah.
Made me laugh.
Sure.
Dungeons and Dragons think it's cute. I'll keep you updated if I love it or hate it or indifferent. But so far I like it. I'm going to watch a few episodes tonight. But I think it's crazy that Netflix is really starting to and they just signed on a few new movies.
Well, we do know this is the big trend, and we talk about it all the time. And we'll one day we'll go really deep into this.
That they're coming up. They're coming heavy.
But here's where they're going to have to struggle, right? Is the everyday lazy on a Sunday family when they all want to hang out. They like watching The Office, like watching Friends. It's really hard to have them to watch original series on Netflix. It's just not what they're selling on. But if you've noticed, documentaries, biopics, that's where they're really putting their money on. Why? They're a little bit cheaper to produce, and they're much more interesting, and that's how you separate yourself. And then if you get acclaimed movies and every once in a while you have a blockbuster, I think that might help them. But the problem is, I think it's not sustainable if they were always going to rely on The Office and Friends.
I
and stuff
completely
like that.
agree, and that's the point. Here's my problem with Netflix now. It's not my problem, but now what you need to do better with your 30-minute sitcoms. Because beside your anime with Big Mouth and BoJack,
yeah.
You're not really killing your 30-minute comedies. Because I'll be honest, what's Friends, Office? Is there another one? How I Met Your Mother when it was on there?
Parks and Rec, those, yeah.
They're ones that they didn't make. I'm really waiting for them. I know they signed a new sketch comedy that's supposed to be fantastic, like a Key and Peele sort of thing, where that would help.
That would help.
Yeah. I'm all for the anime. You got that, but now I'm like, what? Give me something in every genre. Because right now, you have good movies, you have good
horror
stuff. Your horror's good. Mm-hmm. Your documentaries are great. Your sports are good. You have everything. I need that nice 30-minute, 22-episode season binging.
I still think that they need to make a play for football. But that is, again, a different conversation, deep conversation. Different day. Don't laugh. Good brother. We do love television, including WWE. I don't think we're going to find them in this next conversation. The Emmys have nominated their favorites, and I got a few of them, so let's get your thoughts. Do you want to make picks, or you just want to kind of go over it and we'll make picks?
We'll make picks the week of.
Okay, very fun.
It's going to change every day.
Drama series: Better Call Saul from AMC, Bodyguard from Netflix, Game of Thrones for HBO, Killing Eve for AMC and BBC America, Ozark for Netflix, Pose from FX, Succession for HBO, This Is Us, NBC. A great stat.
My favorite, obviously, is Ozark, because I think Ozark's the best. I think it won't win, but I think Ozark is the best show in that list. And then Better Call Saul. The best shows don't always necessarily win, because they're not the most popular.
Sure. How about comedy series? Barry from HBO, Fleabag from Amazon Prime, The Good Place for NBC, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel from Amazon Prime, Russian Doll from Netflix, Schitt's Creek from Pop, and Veep from HBO. I'll be honest with you, Schitt's Creek from Pop is hilarious.
Veep's last season.
Veep's going to win, yeah. But Barry, I need to get into Barry.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, I need to get into Barry.
HBO's got so much euphoria on that.
I do like The Good Place, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot in the comedy. That's a stacked division. That's a good division.
How about this one? My favorite category and my favorite piece on this one. Limited series. Chernobyl, HBO. Escape at Demora for Showtime. Fosse Verdon for FX. Sharp Objects for HBO, and When They See Us for Netflix. So we talked about this when we reviewed both of these. It's going to come down to, in my opinion, Chernobyl and When They See Us.
When They See Us. I think...
I'm going to go Chernobyl.
See, here's my... And I respect it, but here's my problem, Mike. This is the shallow of this award ceremony, and it's already been kind of announced where...
Sure.
This is... There's so few. Like, this show is a shallow where it's a guarantee win. Ava DuVernay is a guarantee win.
I'm not going to argue against it.
They're going to win a lot of Emmys, and I think Emilia Clarke is going to be a guarantee, and I think Veep's almost like, this year, I think I'm going to have a real good pick here, because I think it's very obvious where you have to put these picks.
Right.
Because it's so, I don't want to say not stacked, but it's so in front of your face, like, well.
Top heavy?
Not even top heavy. I'm going to say top middle heavy.
So
where I don't think there's like Better Call Saul had a season where I was crazy. It was great, like normal. Same with Barry. Same with Veep. Same with like Game of Thrones. Even like I think Game of Thrones will end up winning more than people think because critically it did do well for the most part.
So why don't we go into television movie? How about Black Mirror Bandersnatch? I love that one.
Bandersnatch.
Brexit for HBO. Deadwood the movie for HBO. King Lear for Amazon Prime, and My Dinner with Hervey for HBO.
I gotta look into a few of these.
Yeah, but we'll dig more into these.
That one I need a little more.
How about we'll go into lead actor in a drama series. Jason Bateman for Ozark, Sterling K. Brown for This Is Us, Kit Harington for Game of Thrones, Bob Odenkirk for Better Call Saul, Billy Porter for Pose, and Milo. Alex, do you know Ventimiglia?
Oh God, Milo. It's just Milo.
Milo from This Is Us, but. I'm going to go with Odenkirk, Bob Cupfan, or I'm going to go with Sterling K. Brown.
See, I think Odenkirk's going to get it this year because there's so much at the top that I feel like he deserves it. I can see Kit Harington getting it.
Sure.
I'll be honest, I think he deserved it better last season.
Okay.
I think that was his big prime. I think this season was definitely Emilia Clarke, Macy Williams, Sophie Turner.
We'll get into
which all got nominations.
Yeah,
Macy Williams got nominations.
Well, we'll get into it because in lead actress in a drama series, Emilia Clarke for Game of Thrones, Jodie Comer for Killing Eve, Viola Davis for How to Get Away with Murder, Laura Linney for Ozark, Mandy Moore for This Is Us, Sandra Oh for Killing Eve, and Robin Wright for House of Cards.
I think Emilia Clarke.
I'm gonna go Robin Wright.
I think Emilia Clarke.
Yeah, we're not married to any of these picks. We'll make them efficient. How about lead actor in a comedy series?
Well, before you said that, I think when we tell people they'll change, not because our opinions change, just because we're betting men and things change, and like now they're running campaigns.
Yeah.
So who's gonna now we do have to consider who's running the best campaign because. You got to think when we went for best movie, like Roma did a great campaign, so that's why they ended up doing very well. Which is,
to me, it's safe for anything that's coming out of This Is Us, Game of Thrones, and HBO are going to get the biggest pushes to me.
Exactly. And like anything out of Netflix.
Netflix will make a push for
when
all
they
that
see us.
Yeah.
When you get 16 noms, you're going to get it.
Ava DuVernay is going to get a push from Netflix. Not necessarily everything from Netflix, I think.
Today, basically.
So lead actor in a comedy series, Anthony Anderson for Blackish, Don Cheadle for Black Monday, Ted Danson for The Good Place, Michael Douglas for The Kaminsky Method, Bill Hader for Barry, and Eugene Levy for Schitt's Creek. I'm actually going to go with Bill Hader.
You like Bill Hader?
In that one, yeah.
I mean, it's always fun to bet on Anthony Anderson because he's that good. I mean, I know there's a drama with no African American or people. I believe it's African American, be wrong, or a woman of color making the best comedian one. At the same time, it's always who are you going to take off then? And you're like, well, all those women deserve that, like the lead actress in Blackish. I've kind of fallen off the show because like any show, once you get to like 8 seasons and everyone's out of college, you're like, okay, I'm good. I don't need to watch this all the time. So I can't make that argument against or for it.
Well, and we'll get into the actress right now in the comedy series. We got Christina Applegate for Dead to Me, Rachel Brosnahan for The Marvelous Miss Maisel, Julia Louis-Dreyfus for Veep, Natasha Lyonne from Russian Doll, Catherine O'Hara from Schitt's Creek, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge from Fleabag. That's a strong nomination group, so I understand why some people would. I mean, obviously you want diversity, but that's a strong group. Let me ask you this, good brother. I mean, this is not one that necessarily, is going to make all of the news, but lead actor in a limited series or movie. And the only reason I really bring it up is for Jared Harris in Chernobyl, Jerome for When They See Us, and Mahershala Ali for True Detective. And that's a strong group just alone.
I'm surprised True Detective did not get any more love.
Did not even think about that until now. You said that.
But like then you see shows like Chernobyl.
Yeah.
And when they say it, you're like, no, I get it. Like as time goes by, I think it is a little more forgettable. I truly enjoyed it, but I'm gonna be devil's advocate here and be like, I could see where people are like, oh yeah. But I think that they got the right nom because Mahershala Ali does pretty much make the show and make you want to watch every week.
And how about Amy Adams?
But it's very much the first man of the Emmys I thought about. I'm like, where they got one nomination for the guaranteed thing, like the visual effects,
right? And
they got no love.
You're
like, wow.
I wish Stephen Dorff would have got some love too because he was fantastic in that.
And that's what I'm saying. But like, just like first man, you're like, I wish this probably could have gotten love in this, but they gave it just one thing and then forgot all about it.
Amy Adams in Sharp Objects, Patricia Arquette in Escape at Denmora. I mean, there's so many that the women crushed it too. How about supporting actress in a drama series? I want to bring this up because we have Gwendolyn Christie, Lena Headey, and Sophie Turner, all from Game of Thrones. So 3 out of the 5 from one show, and then Fiona Shaw and Julia Gardner from Ozark and Killing Eve. So interesting there. Anything else, good brother, you want me to kind of
no,
mention?
Like I said, we'll go more in depth when we get to because there's a lot of categories, just like the Oscars, and we'll do an entire episode with our final picks because, we love a good bet, but those are the big ones. Again, it's very mediocre. I don't mean it by the shows, I just mean by, like, we kind of knew what these picks were going to be.
Right.
Like, besides True Detective, I don't think there's a lot of snubs.
Yeah, I'm really surprised True Detective didn't get as much love as I thought it was going to. I love Chernobyl. The fact that Chernobyl is getting as much love as we thought it was going to get. Game of Thrones leading the way in nominations. So, again, they were going to – I think fandom is one thing, but critics are a total other thing. And I think when nomination season comes along, the cream rises to the top. And great to see when they see us cruising along too.
That's nice. Probably my favorite series of the year.
It's great. Between that, Chernobyl, like those are the best ones. Those and Game of Thrones, and like we've been lucky this year.
I will allow you to jump on my When They See Us train, Mike, and jump off Chernobyl.
We'll see.
Because Chernobyl is one of those things where it's
I'm gonna write Chernobyl for a little while.
In 10 years, we're gonna look back and be like, man, had it not gone against this, against Ava DuVernay, man, that would have been the champ.
And here's the thing: they both have important messages.
Give me a sports reference, Mike. Where it's like you would have been the heavyweight champ. Had this, or who played against Michael Jordan? Give me a
Karl Malone, Charles Barkley.
Yeah, you're like, no, you're great,
Reggie
and I love
Miller.
you. Yeah. But Michael Jordan played when you played, so you kind of got screwed. That's what this is. That's what Chernobyl is. You're like, dude, I love you, I respect you, and the game is game, but you went against When They See Us.
No, totally.
That changed the world.
But I this has always been my thing about these two. The more important one and the one that has the biggest message is When They See Us. The better one, like the more sound one, is Chernobyl.
I disagree.
That's totally fine. No, I totally agree. I totally agree with that. Like that thought. But to me, that's where it rings. It's like I could see it be the other way for other people.
Because I also consider that When They See Us is more entertaining.
Sure,
it's better. The only thing Chernobyl has better is acting, as I believe.
And I think it's more suspenseful.
And that's just because Chernobyl's acting's at, I think, 11 out of 10, and When They See Us is at a 10. And like I said, we're talking about, the
cream of the crop.
Like, we're in Madden. We're talking about 99s, 98s here. We're not talking about huge difference. We're saying, well, this acting was just this much better. Okay, this directing was just this much better.
And it comes with the work of a very good, solid team on both sides. And I think, obviously, the directing of Ava DuVernay is stronger because she's just so damn talented. But I think both deserve as much love as they are going to get this award season. But I'm so glad that we were on the hype train right away.
We called it months ago. This is going to be a 2-man race. And guess what? It's a 2-man race.
So, good, brother. That is pretty much it for this weekend entertainment. We had a pay-per-view for WWE and for Evolve and for Fight for the Fallen. So, what did you think about the Brotherhood versus the Young Bucks?
I didn't watch because, again,
I watched.
I want good quality TV, and you're not giving me good quality TV right now.
Can I tell you my biggest complaint? None of it makes sense. Like, it seems to me, this is my big thing, right? I'm glad so many people are enjoying it, but to me, you don't get the excuse of, well, we're just starting off. No. TNA, when it first started off with Jeff Jarrett, had the excuse of, well, we're first just starting off. Ring of Honor did. It's 2019. You have the hoopla. You have the billionaire. You have years of experience, years of people who have come from different companies, and you've seen how it's failed before. And the fact...
And you've done it right.
I'm wondering why it is that they don't... The fact that the show isn't booked smartly when it comes to order of stuff.
And let's be honest, we're going to hold judgment because it could be waiting for TV. Maybe they are waiting. And maybe that's where they're going to pull out their money and and we're also talking about a man that has a lot of money. We're not talking about like a TNA where it's like they're playing with still a shorter million thing. Like, no, this guy has a
he owns an NFL team.
Very close to a McMahon's money.
I would say more than McMahon money.
When it comes to just wrestling, that's what I'm saying. Like, just to put into wrestling, like,
right. Yeah.
It's enough to where we can make these complaints of like, it doesn't look good. It's not written well. The cameras aren't doing their, like, it's not flowing the way I thought it would. And I think we're willing to forgive you when we were seeing you once a year. When the mistakes happened, now we're seeing you once a month. And now we're like, I expect you to be doing better. And I feel like they're not doing better. And that's been 2 shows in a row where you're like, I didn't like this Fight Fest, and I didn't like this last one.
I mean, and I could go down it really fast. If Adam Page is your future, why is he having long matches against somebody who's not going to be your future? Why is Chris Jericho kind of the mainstay of your programming? Why is Kenny Omega so unbeatable? How come the Young Bucks throw 15 super kicks? There's a lot of different things that I want to get into, but again, I'm holding with judgment when it comes to their actual show production. Although I got to give a shout out to Evolve. Evolve is a small little thing, and they had a great production. I mean, but like, it's not always WWE. So, good brother, I think that's pretty much it. You got any last thoughts? San Diego Comic-Con, good brother. We're going to be all over it here on the network.
We'll see. Hopefully something big comes.
Got a crazy, wild prediction you want to throw out there? Do you think we get something out there?
Just a phase.
Interesting.
That's it. It's slow. I think it's slow, man. Like, it's funny that Marvel came out so heavy at the beginning of the year, and they're still going to be the heaviest hitters. Comic-Con's becoming a lot of TV. To be honest, last 3 years, TV. It's TV heavy.
I think we get a lot of Disney Plus stuff. I think we get a lot of Mandalorian stuff.
TV.
Yeah, a lot of TV stuff. Yeah, very true. All right, good brother. You ready to go on and shut this bad boy down?
Shut it down.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of The Good Brothers. We really appreciate you guys. Keep it with us all over social media to make sure you are up to date with everything that happens at San Diego Comic-Con 2019. The Good Brother and I will have our reviews of The Lion King and everything in between. And while you're at it, make sure you check out Sports from the Couch. We had friend of the show, Paul Shivari, join us. At least we talk everything post All-Star break in the MLB season. The Chicago Cubs have finally seen like they righted the wave and
I knew it all along.
Yeah, and they finally found the way to take a series from Cincinnati. The White Sox lose Eloy Jimenez. What does this mean for the rebuild? We talk about all that. Good brother. Last words?
Last words.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you on the next episode of The Good Brothers here on Mercado Airwaves
Network.
Thanks for joining us here on The Good Brothers, here on Mercado Airwaves. Enjoy our shows? Follow the Mercado Airwaves crew all over social media. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. On Instagram, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy. Alex is at Mercado2121. Mike is at Mike Mercado2333. And our true crime show is at Murder Mysteries and More. And on Twitter, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy. Alex is at Mercado21Alex. And Mike is at MMercado2333. You can follow the network at Mercado Airwaves. Follow our pop culture show on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod. Get us on the go by downloading our programs anywhere you get your favorite podcast, like iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, Stitcher, and other popular sites. Just search us at Mercado Airwaves. While you're at it, please like, rate, review, and share us with your friends. Visit us on youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. Click the subscribe and like button to get notified every time a new episode or interview is posted. Support Mercado Airwaves by visiting patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves, the home of our interviews with athletes and celebrities, which you can get ad-free and early before it's released to the public. Come play video games with us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. Mercado Airwaves is powered by Munch Art Design. Like them on Facebook at Munch Art Design. Voiceover work on Mercado Airwaves is performed by Josh Fox. Enjoy our shows? Follow the Mercado Airwaves crew all over social media. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. On Instagram, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy, Alex is at Mercado2121, Mike is at Mike Mercado2333, and our true crime show is at Murder Mysteries and More. And on Twitter, Nicole is at Typing When Tipsy, Alex is at Mercado21Alex, and Mike is at mmercado2333. You can follow the network at Mercado Airwaves. Follow our pop culture show on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod. Get us on the go by downloading our programs anywhere you get your favorite podcasts, like iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, Stitcher, and other popular sites. Just search us at Mercado Airwaves. While you're at it, please like, rate, review, and share us with your friends. Visit us on youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. Click the subscribe and like button to get notified every time a new episode or interview is posted. Support Mercado Airwaves by visiting patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves, the home of our interviews with athletes and celebrities, which you can get ad-free and early before it's released to the public. Come play video games with us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mercado Airwaves Network. Mercado Airwaves is powered by Munch Art Design. Like them on Facebook at Munch Art Design. Voiceover work on Mercado Airwaves is performed by Josh Fox.
What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
Another day at the operator to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones. Orlando, how you doing,
How
buddy?
you, sir? I'm good, brother. How you doing?
And all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support.